So hello again from Sweden. One more, very special guest. In every city that we are, we have a couple of helping hands who help the organizers. And he's with me. Please introduce yourself. I don't want to spoil your name. So who are you?
Yeah. Hi, everybody. I'm Betul. I'm a product designer from Turkey, and I've been living in Sweden for almost around 4 years now. And I've been volunteering at this conference, helping at the information and organization a bit, couple of things.
Yes, and for the first time, that's, I think, a very good combination. We have people who are also somehow interested in the topic, people from the IT. And to be honest, if I look at you, you don't look like the typical nerd, and that's a good thing. You can't tell from the surface. It is pretty interesting that the society evolves, and we have so many different flavors, and that's I guess it's a good way, and the kind that we involve here in the PowerShell space. So you're somehow a student, and you told me something very interesting, because we've been chatting about Pecha Kucha.
Yeah, exactly.
And you told me that you had quite a couple of experiences with it. So first of all, can you explain what is a Pecha Kucha for someone who never heard of it?
Yeah. So Pecha Kucha is like I think it's a type of event that you can even say that. It's a pretty international event that there are a couple of presenters, and they have 20 slides, and they have 20 seconds per slide, and they will be presenting their projects. And so it's a pretty quick and pretty fun way of presenting.
And I guess the origin, that is fair to say, is to do some product pitches. But you can do it with everything, right? If you want to pitch your product, find some investors or advertisement, something. And you told me you've been to a couple of events where one speaker after the other does that. How is that? What's the flavor? What's the energy? What's the atmosphere? Yeah.
So when I first went to Pecha Kucha, it was in my home country in Turkey, in my home city, Izmir. In Izmir, there's an architect from Turkey called Cenk Hasan Dereli. He is the organizer of this Pecha Kucha. I think he really liked the concept, and he wanted to bring it to Turkey. And since then, he's still running. There are still Pecha Kuchas happening in Izmir. But when I first went, it was in 2016, I think, a while ago. And how it happens is like, the presenter first is on the stage, tells a little bit about the format, and then presents each speaker. Then they have their own time, and after it finishes, presenter is back on the stage again and presents the next speaker, inviting them to the stage.
And it's in its best meaning an entertaining format. You can't get bored, because every speaker got 6 minutes something. If you sum it up, 6 minutes and 40 seconds. And as I think about it, it's a very, very intense way of presenting, because you don't want to screw it up. For whatever reasons you do that. It's like a little bit like an open stage on a comedian event. Yeah, you got that in some pubs, that people show up and show their faces that are new to the scene, that wouldn't make it for a whole evening because you don't have the audience, but you collect a bunch of people, and it can be very entertaining. I do like this idea. And you said it's full of energy. It's a nice way to attend new things.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's, like you said, quite beginner friendly, because then you know that you're not going to have to talk about 10 minutes, 15 minutes without a break. So it's quite fast. And in some cases, even like people have some seconds left. They might have some seconds left. That it's maybe it's also a little bit hard to plan, because obviously they're not going to be practicing for a week about how they're going to present. It's pretty experimental.
If I transfer that to the presentations that I see in IT, very often you see presenters that have slides full of written words.
Yeah,
lots of information. That wouldn't work in 20 seconds, because you can't even read it. What does a typical picture look like from what you remind?
Yeah, I think in general, like also depending on my own experience with presentations, having text on screen is always challenging. Also, like as a designer and as like thinking about the user experience, that if you need to be really careful how bold, how big, how small the text is, what your font is, and it's also like how much text is, because when there's like too much text, it's impossible and it's not good, because when you're talking, people will be focusing on the text, or they will get confused. Exactly. Like, should I listen? Should I read? What's happening? So it's always good to have like big visuals, I think. Mm-hmm. Have your visuals and then know what you're going to say about this visual, like visuals that are describing your project.
Yeah. Something like a traffic light that I used in one of my last presentations. It's a metaphor. Anybody knows red is stop, green is go, and yellow is and something in between. That is often way more than enough. Mm. And it's getting really worse. And I don't say that I do this all the time in a perfect way. I make so many failures. I did so many faults.
Yeah,
but the worst thing that you can do is that you write text on the slide and then you read it.
Yes.
So you're constantly in conflict with your own slides. And the better way, I think, is that the slide supports you and you support the slide.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's two pieces of the puzzle.
Yeah, I really like when you said, unfortunately, that I wasn't able to watch your PoShaKucha, but like, for example, having a metaphor would be a really nice way, I think, because then people will be like wondering, oh, what is that? Then they will be like curious, just wait until and be very focused on you. Yeah. Oh, what is it going to be like?
Exactly.
Because if it's something very obvious, they might be like already bored if it says everything. But then if it has this like little bit of curiosity in it, I think it's a really good way to engage the audience with you.
You should not be distracted by the slide, and the slide should not be distracted by the speaker. Yes. You already spoiled, and you might already guessed it.
Oh my God.
No. This is great. That I never saw an in-person event like that. That is why we chatted before the lights went on. And I think it's very interesting to hear that experience. But, of course, I know about this PoShaKucha format. I saw videos on YouTube, for example. And last year, we introduced a PechaKucha style presentations here at the PowerShell Conference last year in Antwerp. And we did it again. And hopefully we will also do it again next year.
Yeah.
And I decided that PechaKucha is a nice name, but since we're focusing on PowerShell, I call it PoShaKucha. The rest is the same. The topic is PowerShell. It is 20 by 20.
Yeah.
And as you said, since we were organizers, we don't have the time to watch the sessions, but that's the reason why the videos exist.
Yeah,
so you have the chance
I will be
watch
watching
this,
them for sure.
and then you can judge yourself if my slides distract me or I distract my slides. So we will see that. That's a great experience. Hear that from the younger generation. And beyond that, you've been very busy here with organizing, giving mocks to the people, see if everything works. You were working on the videos, so thank you on screen one more time.
It was my pleasure.
If you see the videos,
I really enjoyed it. Yeah.
If you now see the videos from this year's conference, she is one of the people who helped made it.
It's a little bit of just not a lot, but I'm
very
happy
helpful.
that I was able to help.
Yeah, very helpful.
Yeah.
But beyond that, in the beginning, I said, you don't look like the typical IT nerd, despite the fact that you might be one. The other way around, did the people that came to your desk, that asked for help, etc., are they the way that you expect them to be? Did you experience anything special, funny or worse, good or bad? Anything special?
I mean, to be honest, I never liked stereotypes, and I wasn't expecting, I didn't have an idea about, even though like I'm not entirely in this, I didn't have like a cliche in my mind, oh, people would be like this. I think everybody who came to the desk wanted to have a chat, was like quite lovely. They're all like kind and they have their own stories. And it's also nice because they're all from all over the world.
Yeah.
It's not only Sweden, and it's always nice, like, meeting people from different cultures. So yeah, I mean, it's not nice to have stereotypes.
Yeah. No, but I think in first place, you are what you are, right? And I think that the one thing that you can demand is that the people are open, open-minded,
exactly. Yeah,
are polite.
yeah,
And that's not taken for granted, right?
yes, exactly.
So that's the reason why we ask, how do the people behave? Was it a nice experience? We do not expect that after the conference, everybody's the best friend. That's not the meaning of the conference.
It's a professional environment also, but everything that I experienced was like, everybody's really polite. That's one of the things that I noticed that, yeah.
Great. So, you're at the start of a career that might be somehow IT related. Maybe you go different ways, do something even more exciting, or whatever the life brings on the table. If you look at the schedule, what are the topics that, beside PowerShell, there's always yet another piece of the puzzle connected. We had security. We had cloud computing.
Yeah,
we had this and that. What is that niche thing that you are interested most? Something like security? What would you think can be important in the future? We had talked a lot about artificial intelligence. What do you think is the next big topic?
I think artificial intelligence is definitely a big topic, and it's a bit like a clickbait word, because it's like, it's in everything. Yeah. It is in everything, so it needs to be like, it's a big umbrella, and you need to like go deeper in, like, if it's related to cybersecurity, then it's combination of AI plus cybersecurity, AI plus data. I think cybersecurity, it's especially a really important topic. I don't know, in future, maybe I also get involved in this, but it's also like combining my own perspective from like a product designer and thinking about the user experience. It's like, it can be really devastating when there are problems with the security, and also thinking about the business size, but also thinking about the individual users. It is a really, vital topic now.
I think that is one of the most underrated topics at all. User interface design is so important.
Yeah,
and many people think of some graphical user interfaces. You can catch anyone here on the floor and chat with these people about good commands, bad commands, how PowerShell in our favorite topic should be used, support pipelining, having a good help, etc. So user interface design, making things friendly in a graphical user interface for normal people, or some complicated API that still needs to be utilized. That's a big topic. So I'm pretty sure you will make a living and bring things forward.
And about the user interface, because in some way, like, product designers and IT people, they need each other, because you can never have like a very holistic, view. It's, of course, like, if you know things about from both perspectives, but like working with the user interfaces and like having the user research and knowing what the users are expecting, what they are used to, and what they're gonna think when they look at the screen. It's actually like both sides of the work we do. Like, one is before the product is released, the other one is kind of like after, what the user will experience. So I think a combination of this somewhere in between is really important.
My final question is, I got the experience that, I got the idea that most of your colleagues that help us here, they're not raised here in Malmö, sometimes not even in Sweden. Is the place here something that is active looking for talents from all the parts of the world? How do you feel about the Swedish system that you live in here?
Yeah, my colleagues here, they are from ReDI School Malmö. ReDI is non-profit organization that is giving IT courses to mostly immigrant backgrounded and mostly women. So it's like the underrated and undermined communities. That's the.
So then somehow you fulfill the stereotype in this, in this special environment. Yeah.
Yeah. And we are like a really international community. It first started in Germany, and then our CEO Felix brought it to Malmö. It's quite new. It started in 2022. And yeah, like having communities like this, especially in Sweden, I think it's really important because Sweden is maybe not the easiest country to get involved in the society because of, for example, coming from Turkey, it's a lot of cultural differences, and having communities like this and also helping like other people who you know that are having same struggles as you, I think it's really fulfilling and empowering in general.
Any plans to move to the next country? Or would you like to stay here for quite a while? Is that decided already? No.
I mean, I never know like what the future will bring, but I would like to first try here. I've been job seeking for some time now, and I would like to try to, if you need any product designers, I would be really happy. But I'm open to every opportunity, to be honest.
Yeah, we connect to us, we connect to you.
Yeah, I'm excited about the future, and I think, you never know.
Yes. That's a great question. That's a great answer. Thank you. So go ahead.
Last thing, because we talked about Pecha Kucha. Pecha Kucha is actually started happening in Malmö as well. Maybe somebody's interested. Some of the listeners will think that, oh, it's in Malmö. Why don't I go?
Where is that hosted, in what context?
It's actually the same organizer, the architect that I mentioned from Turkey, established it in Malmö. Again, it has been inactive for some years in Malmö. It was there before, but was inactive. So now it started happening again. This year there were 2 events, one in February and one in May. The one in May was also included in Malmö. We have Southern Sweden Design Days. This is also a big event for designers. It was also with it, and it's gathering people from Malmö, like the local people, creatives, makers, anyone who has an idea, and gathering everybody together. And I was only able to join one of the sessions, but it was really great. Yeah,
super interesting. I didn't expect that I find someone who's got connected to this world as much as that. Very, very interesting experience. So I can only thank you to the host city, Malmö. And even if you're, despite the fact that you already live here for 2 years, I say thank you.
Thank
you, Malmö,
you.
to you. And I think that was a great experience. We're now at the end of the conference almost. And hope to see you next year. And all the best luck.
Next city. And thank you so much for giving us as a ReDI school to this opportunity, because I think it's really important that you also looked for like local communities. I think it's really valuable.
Yeah, and we will provide and we will provide some links to the event so that if someone looks at it and says, okay, that sounds interesting, that you need to click here.
Yeah, that would be great.
Betul, thank you.
Thank you so much. Yeah, my pleasure as well.